In a stunning twist that shook the entertainment world, Rick Ross found himself in court after 50 Cent orchestrated his arrest for allegedly trying to produce a BMF film without owning Big Meech's official life rights. And though many thought this was the end for Ross, the judgment he received shocked everyone. A final warning from the judge, a slap on the wrist, and a chance to walk away unscathed. But now, what Rick Ross does next could either destroy his reputation forever or launch him into an unstoppable new chapter of his career. It all began behind the scenes in the darkest corners of Hollywood's unspoken war for power, respect, and legacy. 50 Cent, a man who built a television empire off the back of the BMF legacy with his groundbreaking series, was always protected when it came to Big Meech's story. After investing years of work, money, and energy into building BMF into a cultural phenomenon, he wasn't about to let anybody, even someone as big as Rick Ross, come in and disrespect the blueprint he fought to create. Whispers had already been circulating in late 2024 that Rick Ross had begun quietly assembling production team, scouting locations, and even reaching out to minor players from the original BMF crew, offering cash incentives for inside stories. But the fatal mistake Ross made? He never secured the legal life rights to Big Meech's story. And if there's one thing you should know about 50 Cent, he doesn't play about Big Meech. Their relationship isn't just business. It's deeper. It's loyalty. It's blood in, blood out. So when word reached 50's ears that Ross was moving without authorization, it wasn't a question of if there would be retaliation. It was a matter of when. Sources close to the situation revealed that 50 Cent, utilizing his extensive network of legal contacts and industry insiders, compiled a case faster than anyone could have predicted. He documented every production meeting, every leaked script draft, every cast call Rick Ross's team organized, stacking up evidence that Rick Ross was preparing to profit off a story he had no legal right to tell. In a cold and calculated move, 50 Cent turned over all this evidence to the authorities. And just like that, Rick Ross found himself slapped with charges related to unauthorized biographical production, copyright infringement, and contractual violation. The arrest was almost cinematic. Ross was blindsided, taken into custody right outside a Miami recording studio. Word spread like wildfire. TMZ had the exclusive. The Shade Room blew it up. Twitter melted down. How could Rick Ross, the self-proclaimed biggest boss, get caught slipping like this? But if Ross was shaken, he didn't show it. True to his larger-than-life persona, Ross posted a cryptic Instagram story from the back seat of a cop car, smirking with a caption, "They can lock the body, but not the boss mind." Fans were divided. Some hailed him a hero standing up to 50 Cent's tyranny, while others clowned him for stepping into a war he was never prepared to fight. As Ross prepared for court, the industry watched closely. 50 Cent, never one to miss an opportunity for public humiliation, trolled him relentlessly on Instagram, posting memes of Ross in an orange jumpsuit with captions like "Boss moves? Nah, boss mistakes." Even longtime enemies of Ross, people like Birdman, who had stayed silent for years, chimed in subtly, liking shady posts and sending out veiled shots. The courtroom showdown, however, didn't go exactly the way 50 Cent had hoped. Rick Ross showed up to his hearing dressed sharply in an all-black designer suit, with an army of high-priced lawyers flanking him. Their strategy was simple. Paint the whole situation as a misunderstanding, downplay any intentional wrongdoing, and emphasize Ross's respect for Big Meech and the BMF legacy. They argued that Ross was merely exploring creative ideas, and that no official filming or monetization had begun. They pointed to Ross's history of charitable work and his positive influence in the community, framing him as a misunderstood artist rather than a criminal mastermind. Meanwhile, 50 Cent's legal team pushed for harsher penalties, emphasizing the damage that could be done to the real BMF story if unauthorized versions started popping up. They argued that Ross's actions were deliberate, reckless, and motivated purely by money, not respect. After several intense hours of arguments, testimony, and behind-the-scenes legal maneuvering, the judge delivered his verdict. While acknowledging that Rick Ross had operated recklessly and without the necessary rights, the judge stopped short of issuing jail time or heavy fines. Instead, Ross was given a final warning. Cease all production activities related to BMF immediately, obtain proper life rights before any future attempts, and refrain from exploiting any copyrighted biographical material without authorization. In other words, He was free to walk, but now he was officially on thin ice. The court ruling sent shockwaves through the hip-hop and entertainment world. Some saw it as a loss for 50 Cent, who had clearly hoped to see Ross punished more severely. Others saw it as a survival win for Ross, a chance to regroup, re-strategize, and perhaps even come back stronger, smarter, and more dangerous. But the real question remains, what will Rick Ross do now? If history tells us anything, Ross isn't the type to tuck his tail and retreat. He's a master strategist, someone who has survived beefs with some of the biggest names in the industry and still managed to expand his empire. From Wingstop franchises to multi-million-dollar real estate investments, Ross has always found a way to turn L's into wins. Already, insiders say Ross is considering pivoting. Rumors are swirling that he might focus on producing a fictionalized series inspired by real events instead of an official BMF biopic, thus avoiding the legal landmines 50 Cent planted. Others believe he's secretly reaching out to members of the BMF organization who haven't signed life rights